Welcome to this week's episode of the 100% LCFC Leicester Fan TV YouTube channels podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on whatever platform you're on. If you're listening to SoundCloud or iTunes, hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, you know what to do. Really, this season's just absolutely bonkers for Leicester. We're still second in the Premier League. Last night we beat Watford 2-0. Just unbelievable where we're going. I can't quite believe it. We've conceded the least amount of goals in the Premier League. Jamie Vardy's on fire. We're 7 in 7. There's my phone. He's ready to come in. We have an away perspective on the show. It's for the love of the Paul McGrath podcast. All social handles will be in the description below. Check out the content for Paul McGrath podcast. It's a Villa perspective today on the show. Here we go.
Game. Obviously, Leicester are flying high at the moment. It could be. Everybody said it was that Lightning would never strike twice, that they would win the league again after their fairy tale league winning not so long ago. But stranger things have happened. And Lee, what do you think your chances are of maybe catching Liverpool this year and pulling it off for a second time against all odds?
Oh, mate, never say never. And there's a fabulous piece of commentary that I always play on some of my podcasts, and that's never write Leicester City off. And that's the motto of our football club. We are the Fearless Foxes. I don't think this season we were aiming to win the Premier League. It was just, I think we was trying to break the mould of that barrier of top six, so to speak. And with just the momentum just keeps going, even when we're playing poor, which we have done, I think, really against Everton and last night against Watford as well. I don't think we were the best, but we still grind out the results.
Yeah, and that's, I suppose, look, I'm going to throw out the cliche of all cliches, but that is the mark of a champion, to get a result and to play poorly. Like Villa played against Chelsea last night. We played poorly and we got what we deserved, to be honest with you. A 2-1 loss. It could have been a bit more, but we didn't hit the heights that we have hit against the perennial contenders, as I like to call them, the Arsenals, the Spurs, Liverpool. We've played out of our skin against all those teams. We've fallen short in all of those games. Last night we could have actually scored a draw, but we didn't play well at all. But swings and roundabouts from that point of view. If you're playing poorly and you can get a result, that's kind of half the battle. It's live to fight another day, I think, kind of a situation. But,
you deserve something out of the United game, though, to be fair. I think you definitely deserve something out of that. At 2-2, but we lost to them at Old Trafford. If that's anything to go off. I feel like we should have beat them as well. We were the better side. It's just, at the end of the day, football, it's the goals that count, not who's got the most possession, not who's playing the most sexiest of football. It's about the flipping goals going in the back of the net.
You said it, and you guys are, your goal difference is the joint best in the league at the moment. So there you go. That just kind of attests for everything. Whereas when you look at Villa's goal difference, it's nowhere near. Like, I think you guys are plus 26 or something like that at the moment.
Yeah, which is mad.
Something huge.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Goals against, we've got the lowest conceded in the league. Over the last 6 games in the Premier League, our aggregate score something stupid like 21 goals to 2. It's unreal. Absolutely unreal.
And that to me is kind of, I suppose I think of it in two ways, and I'm going to kind of, I suppose I'm going to ask the same question under two different kind of topics in a moment. But obviously your off season was heavily based on your central midfield kind of central midfield recruitment. Yuri Telemans has come in, and Dennis Praet, I think I always pronounce his name incorrectly. They've come in, and two big money signings. Well, Dennis Praet, I think you got for a steal, to be honest with you. But the only real defensive.
That's the thing. Those two that you've just named, they're part of the Belgium squad. At the end of the day, they both know each other inside out. I think Dennis Praet is probably more than capable of holding his own, replacing, say, James Maddison if Maddison does, get dropped. Which, to be quite honest with you, I think he looks a little gassed out. He looked tired yesterday, James Maddison. I wouldn't be surprised if he does get dropped for a game just to recover. I think he's been carrying either an injury since the international break or maybe something even further down the line than that. Because if you remember, he pulled out of the England thing. There was that casino story of him out.
Yeah.
So I don't know, if he's poorly or... I honestly, he just didn't look quite right yesterday. But he played till the death, right to the 96th, and he got his goal as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what he does. He pops up, and I suppose that's what Southgate kind of really wants him to kind of maybe just put up his socks a small bit on the application side of things, because he's got all the talent in the world, and we saw that at Norwich, and we saw that at Coventry. Us being in the Midlands, I know that Villa were heavily involved in trying to coax him to Villa when he was at Coventry as well. So. Yeah, that he's quite the talent, and he's always mentioned in the same breath as Mason Mount and Jack Grealish as well. It's like as if you can never have the three of them in your team because you'll be too good, so you can only pick two. And I don't know, I don't really buy that. It doesn't have to be one or the other, but.
Yeah, you do see a lot of those Twitter polls about Grealish over Maddison and Maddison over Grealish, retweet for Grealish and like for Madders and all that. At the end of the day,
crazy.
I don't want to say that Maddison is better than Grealish because that's biased. That's like you saying Grealish is better than Maddison. It's biased because you're a fan of your club, I'm a fan of mine. But where I'm standing right now, Madders is the better player. But for me, that's just that's my opinion because it's my club. Maybe that is biased, but that's my opinion.
Well, I think, as I say, I think that he probably has the bigger sample set at a better league, at a better level, and so on. So, it's a very, very valid thing to say. Yes, he is at this moment in time. Yeah, he's shown more. Look, I think even the most ardent of Villa fans wouldn't disagree that at the top level he's shown more. And it's a pick 'em choose 'em. It's literally it's like trying to choose which brand of ketchup do you like. At the end of the day, it's both ketchup, but this one probably has a better name. So that's what it is.
Exactly. You know what? I've got to say something to you, which is it's about 5 years on now. But thank you for Michael Brighton.
Yeah, you're welcome. Because we would like him back actually.
What a great player he is. He's highly underrated. He's a highly underrated player. Highly underrated, left midfielder. I think when we won the Premier League, he could have had a shout at maybe an England cap. To be honest, when we was really that far, I don't think he'll ever get one. But I think at the time when we won the Premier, if Danny Drinkwater got on the flipping squad, I don't see why Michael Brighton shouldn't have done at the time. He's an absolute machine. He's just a workhorse. Yeah. He's probably not the greatest of players technically, but he just gives you everything he's got. Every game, 110%.
That's exactly the thing. Dean Smith would adore him in his squad, I think, at the moment. Just the up and down nature of his game. He's not afraid to get back, and he's all action. And it's like, I don't think I've ever seen him gassed or tired or anything like that. But
never.
Yeah, he's a good player. Is it too late to thank you guys for Mark Draper all those years ago for doing the whole thing? Thank you for Mark Draper.
You know what? We've swapped a few players over the years, haven't we? Like Julian Joachim, he was another one, wasn't he?
Oh God, yeah. He was. I remember. I think I had a jersey with Julian Joachim's name on the back of it. Because I asked my. Actually, yeah, it was because I remember I asked my. I think I asked my mum for a jersey, and I asked her again. I think it might have been Dion Dublin's name on the back of it.
Another player, Dion Dublin, another player for Leicester. But I didn't want to trump. I didn't want to trump you there when you said about Joachim's. But I've actually played football twice now on the King Power with Julian Joachim. So
nice. Yeah. He's still kicking ball. I think I saw somewhere that he's still actually playing. He's player manager for some lower league team or for some. Yeah.
He does. I don't know. He's got like a player trader market thing. You'll have to have a look online. I'll put it in the description of the podcast and I'll send you it later. It's called Player Trader. You'll have to have a look.
Yeah.
So I think he's into some sort of market, like looking for young players and stuff. So I'm not quite sure what he does, but that's where he sort of he plays for the Leicester Legends as well. with like Muzzy Izzet and Steve Walsh and Jerry Taggart, Matty Elliott.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking here. He played in He played for a team in Gibraltar last year at the age of what? What age? 45.
Yeah,
he's playing with Town in the Lincolnshire League. Yeah.
But what a player back in the day! Great player.
Yeah, scored goals for both. He scored goals for both Leicester and Villa. He played well. We were very happy with him. He had a ball of speed. Yeah, so he was. I'm actually going to have to go down the rabbit hole now. Here, I'm just looking into his Wikipedia page. Wow, I
didn't mean to do that on the podcast. We weren't supposed to be talking about like today's football, and here we are looking at the past.
If anybody can name, without going to Wikipedia, all of Julian Joachim's clubs, you win a season ticket to Villa. But you're not allowed to or Leicester, whichever. I'll get you a season ticket free.
The competition isn't on this channel. I'm not paying for that.
Exactly. But as I was saying, and that's what I love about podcasts, you can go down the wormhole. But as I was saying there, that you guys you've picked up Telemans, you've picked up Pratt, but the only really kind of defensive reinforcement you brought in was James Justin, and that's somebody that fellow we're looking at as well from Luton. Seems to be a really, really impressive right back he was with Luton. And I know the reason I'm bringing up his name as well is he only made his debut really in the Premier League last night for you guys.
That's correct.
He's a talent, and I don't know if you've seen him, if he's played in a lot of cup games, but he's someone that that I've had my eye on, and I know that Villa had their eye on, and that they were basically, I don't know why they didn't go to the 6 million for him, but maybe.
Well, he's a young lad. I think was he 20 years old?
Yeah, I think just on 21. Yeah,
he's not really played that much. Match time for Leicester so far. Like I say, last night was really his proper, I suppose, in a way, home debut of Premier League football. He looks good, but I don't think he had enough time to really warrant, any kind of idea of what he's going to be like yet, to be honest. But he looks good.
Yeah.
So I'll take your word for it.
Well, just being in the Championship for the last couple of seasons, that's where I would have seen him, playing an awful lot. And he's tall, he's athletic, he's rangy. I think he could maybe even play in a back three as well. He's for me, he looks the part anyway. Whether he can, as I say, step it up to the Premier League level, that's another thing. And that kind of rounds out your transfers. Oh yes, obviously Ozzy Perez. I'll be honest with you, I kind of raised my eyebrows at the 30 million price tag, but then I realised, it isn't the early 2000s anymore, and he's only 25. I thought he was closer to 30 than 25. So, like, somebody with that kind of a second striker kind of role that he can play for Leicester. What's your views on him, and how has he played since he's come in, and how does he fit into Brendan Rodgers' structure?
Brendan Rodgers, he's just making everything work. To be honest with you, it's not you picking out an individual player here, but like Brendan Rodgers is just. It's almost like he's turned Claude Puel, who was obviously the manager for Leicester last season before he came in. We were playing sort of like it was just there was no final product to Leicester's strategy, or it's hard to explain. He just tried too much to change from a counter-attacking style, which we were found out. It turned it into his possession-based stuff. Couldn't find Vardy up top for nothing at all. Couldn't get a sniff, old Jamie Vardy under Claude Puel. And Rodgers has seemed to have just... It almost clicked his fingers and made it work. Every player's firing under Brendan Rodgers. What a manager he is. When he came in, when he was signed, people were saying, he's a good manager though. He's a good manager. He'll definitely get us into that top 6 bracket. And I was a bit umming and ahhing because he'd left Liverpool to go Celtic, and I'm not being. This is no offence again to Celtic fans, but any manager could go there and really win it because they're the only team in that league that's got any money and support. So I wasn't sure. I was a bit wary, but my, I'll have to eat my hat.
You mentioned there that he's brought you from a more of kind of a counter-attacking style of play to a more possession style of play. And Brendan Rodgers was, he did talk about the tiki-taki football when he was with Liverpool and stuff. Do you want to elaborate maybe on his style of play? Like, where does he like to attack from? Is it? I know Ricardo Pereira. Whenever I watch Leicester, you just see him. He's up and down that line and stuff.
What a player he is, Ricardo Pereira.
Where does?
Oh my God! Signed him from Porto. Just phenomenal. I can't see why he's not rated as one, if not the best right back in the Premier League right now. He's absolutely insane. But going back to your question, Leicester play from the back, like with Kagalos Soyuncu, Harry Maguire's replacement, who, bear in mind, was sitting on the bench for over 12 months at Leicester anyway. Yeah. It's mad to think that he's just stepped in, and what a beast he is. They just play from the back. Last night, just playing from the back, dangerous stuff at times, nearly giving it away here and there, but they're not scared to try anything. It's not just, it's up the top of the field and Oak Vardy will run onto it anymore. Play it along on the ball, fast, fluid. If you lose it, win it back dead quick. Get NDD, with his long legs and his fast interceptions, because he's top of the interceptions in Europe, man. It's insane. It works. Win the ball back, play fast, play on the floor, put those through balls, off the side of the player to Vardy. Bang, off we go.
Indeed, he is actually he's a strange looking player. As you say, he's like Vieira. Vieira's legs were longer than the other half of his body, and indeed he's the same.
He is. He's a mix between Vieira and Kante's style.
Yeah. I think if you could create a defensive midfielder, that's where you'd be going. And he's only 22 as well.
It's mad.
That's another thing. When you look at him, he came to Leicester in 2017, and you just automatically assume that he's 24, 25, 26, and now he was in his prime. But I think Leicester's purchasing power, since they've won the actual Premier League, their purchasing strategy has been very smart. It's not been, let's throw money at the wall and let's buy the likes of, like, I'm going to say this, and it's not. I don't exactly disagree with Spurs' purchasing policy in the last few years, but buying the likes and bringing in the likes of the Llorentes and bringing in these kind of guys to kind of pad out the squad. Leicester haven't really done that. They've spent money on young players to try and improve the squad and have a succession plan there as well, which is something that I like to see.
Yeah, just all I'm going to say is don't let us play. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just don't let us play. Don't let us play. Get onto us quick. Pressure us galore, because we're not playing that counter-attacking stuff. So pressure us. James Maddison, don't give him an inch.
Yeah. I think that'll be marvellous. Nakamba's job during the whole game is to stand on his toes and not let him move. Nakamba is actually, you talk about every team now wants to have their N'Golo Kante after you guys brought him into the league and unleashed him on the league. But every team wants to have their N'Golo Kante, and we hope that Nakamba is going to be ours. And I actually think he's the best. I think he's the best player in the Premier League to tackle while standing up and not have to go to ground.
Not going to ground, yeah.
But the biggest thing is he's still learning in the league, and we saw that last night that Mason Mount could kind of maybe just breeze past him slightly, but he wasn't exactly poor. But it's just these idiosyncrasies that he needs to learn in the Premier League. Just going back on Brendan Rodgers there as well, would you guys be worried? There's quite a lot of high profile. I'm not saying that Leicester isn't high profile, but there's a Man United job probably going to be up for grabs. There's a Arsenal job. Probably going to be up for grabs.
I knew you was going to ask this question, and I'm going to answer this in the best way that I can. That I've already answered this on TalkSport. I've already answered this on a Sky interview, and many other places now. And I'm going to give the same answer, exactly the same answer. The Brendan Rodgers to Arsenal thing is the big one, isn't it? That's the one that everyone's talking about, right? Yeah. I said this live on air when TalkSport were talking, and I was on cue to go on air. I heard them talking about he's got to go for the Arsenal job. He's got to go. He's got to leave Leicester and go for the Arsenal. And they were talking out their backsides. And Lee, you ready to go live? Yeah, I'm ready to go live. Bang, I was on. Instead of saying hello, I'm Lee, blah blah blah, I just jumped on and went, right, boys, you've been talking about Arsenal. You've been talking about Brendan Rodgers. Here's my take on that. Arsenal, 15 years ago, with that perfect, attractive blonde lady with the piercing blue eyes, the long strapping legs, the great brass eyes, right? That was then. She's now more like Pat Butcher off EastEnders, right? There's a new bird on the block, and it's Leicester City Football Club. All right, and they all laughed before they even spoke to me. So that's my take on that. Arsenal, they're old news. They're a big historic club, massive amount of money. Man United, same thing, huge clubs, huge amount of money. But right now, they ain't doing it. They are not doing it. So why would you? Why would you go to a club that's not doing it? They are, for me, both those clubs are about probably a year and a half, 2 years behind where we're at. Our squad is ridiculously young, and there's international play. I think every player we have is an international player, and you've got Jamie Vardy and Kasper Schmeichel, top and tail, right, on that pitch. You've got Premier League winners, top and tail, the two experienced men on the field, and in the middle of that, you've got that youthful, impactful players that we have that are only getting better and better and better as we go, with a fantastic manager and backroom staff. And the most important part of the whole thing is the King Power brand. The King Power owners. You can't get a better owner than ours.
Actually, that's a good point, because that was the next question. How do you think the club has evolved since obviously the tragedy of the situation that you guys found yourself in not so long ago with the chairman and all that? How has the club kind of evolved and moved forward and kind of kept to the same kind of structure, I suppose, really, that it had? I know that there was a family influence within the boardroom and so on. How has the legacy of your former chairman kind of been brought through into how the club is structured at the moment?
Yeah, when that happened, we were all a little bit worried about what was going to be, for the future of the club. We thought, wow, maybe they will want to leave it behind, and move on, because it might be too hurtful to be here and relive it all the time. But I don't think that's the Thai way. And his son, Top, we call him down here, he's just almost taken it upon himself to make sure that this club is now part of his father's legacy. And I think even more's gone into it. I think we are in a very, very secure place with the King Power brand behind us. Very secure place. I can't see Leicester moving or shifting anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. That's that stability coming from an Aston Villa fan since, I suppose, really the early years when Randy Lerner took us over in 2005, 2006, whenever it was. That was the last time we had stability under an owner, and to have stability when something like that happens, it could really rock the club, especially so soon after you guys have won the league. But to be able to have, as you say, I think he's only in his early 30s.
Exactly.
The chairman, but once again, to have that stability of somebody who's in around the club that was able to take it over and move it forward. And you know what? Sometimes when somebody is trying to do somebody proud that may have died before them, like we've all got a family member that we're all missing, you want to do them proud. That can be kind of the fire underneath somebody that people need. So it is important. And I say, I think it is fair to say that nobody would have wished this club to go into a free fall or anything like that after what happened, because it was such a tragic situation.
Yeah, it was just it's one of those. It's part of the history of the club now. Premier League champions. Yeah. A chairman that tragically died at the ground. It's part of the story, and now here we are again pushing for a Premier League title. I mean, I don't know if you could say that we're pushing for a Premier League title. Well, at the end of the day, we're second in the Premier League. You just don't know, do you? You just don't know. Imagine if it happens again.
Oh, well, if it does happen again, I'll tell you a little story. I come from a little town in Limerick, place called Ballingarry, and I'm living above in Galway now, but in Ballingarry, nearly everybody is a Liverpool fan, Liverpool United fan, but there was a father and son that moved to the town about maybe 15 years ago, and both of them were from Leicester, and both of them Leicester City fans. And Nick and Richard used to they came down to the pub every day for Leicester games, and they literally, when Leicester won the league, they absolutely partied like it was the last day they were ever going to live. And to be honest with you, to just see the joy, and literally we were kind of going, I never thought Leicester would win the league. I still don't. I'm not even sure I'll ever see Villa win the league. But we were kind of going, looking at him going, this is amazing. And if the party is anything like after the last time you guys won it, with just these two guys in a small town in the middle of nowhere in Limerick, well then, believe me, I'm all for you guys winning it. But then again, everybody's a Liverpool fan in the town, so if Liverpool win it, I think the place might actually explode. So it's either or. I think we're in for a good party where I come from anyway.
Well, there you go. Party time. Sounds good.
Exactly. So on Sunday, I was actually originally supposed to go to the game on Sunday, but unfortunately things transpired in the opposite direction, and I couldn't go, which was a bit of a bummer. But look, as I say, we still be able to get to watch the game and hope for the best. But what are your feelings for the game on Sunday? Obviously, you must be very buoyed and confident, I must imagine, in this Leicester team. I suppose first of all, what do you think that the team, what kind of a team do you think he's going to play at the weekend? Will there be many changes? And secondly, how do you feel that the game is going to go?
Okay, so first of all, we've not played actually each of us since I think the season that we actually won the Premier League. I'm pretty sure that's right. We've not played since 20.
Could have been.
I think it was 2016. I think
2016.
Was
when
it?
We got back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've not played since 2016, which was 1-1. But if I remember right, the key fixture between us two in my modern time was that I think you was beating us 2-1 at the King Power Stadium in 2015, and we did a comeback. I think it was a oh God, who was it? Someone headed it. Who was it? I can't remember his name. He came on loan from Swansea. Oh man, now my head's hurting me. No, it's not running off the top of my head, but I think it was a 3-2 win. We came back to 2015, 2016. It was a big comeback.
We're partial to losing, especially back in 2015 under. I think I was probably
Nathan Dyer. It was Nathan Dyer. It was Nathan Dyer. It was a Nathan Dyer header. Mm-hmm. And he looked like he got injured, and then I think Jamie Vardy got the winner 3-2.
Who else?
Well, yeah. Who else? He's 7 in 7, by the way.
He is.
He is 7 in 7.
I know. I've got him on my fantasy football team, and he's keeping me close to the top. He's outperforming everyone else.
He's top of the charts, and he's 7 in 7, and he has a consecutive record for himself, which is 11, breaking Ruud van Nistelrooy's record. And the man that previously broke Ruud van Nistelrooy's record was himself, Ruud van Nistelrooy. So it's only common courtesy for Jamie Vardy to break his own record, surely. And the fixture, you know the fixture that it lands on if he does do it. It's only the flipping Liverpool game on Boxing Day. It's almost written in the stars, It landed against Man United for him to break the record against Man United, who was Ruud van Nistelrooy, and here we are landing on possibly the league leaders. Our biggest rivals technically this year is landing on that game. It's mad. But going back to the actual game itself, we're 6 wins on the bounce. 6 wins on the bounce. Or is it 7 wins on the bounce? I've lost count. 7 wins on the bounce. Our form is insane. Your form's not so great, is it? I think you've got 1 win in the last 5.
Yeah, we're up and down at the moment.
We've scored a hell of a lot of goals compared to you. I can only see it going one way, but I'm not going to write you off. You are a strong side. Like I say, you held your own against United. I know you lost last night, but you did well against United. I think you deserve to beat them, to be honest with you. I'm going to go... Do you want my prediction? Or?
Yeah, you go first.
I'm going to go... I got the last one right last night. I'm going to go with I think I'm going to go for a Leicester away win. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 2-1 away win. And I'm going with Jamie Vardy and Maddison again to get the goals. I'll revert the question to yourself. What form are you in? Do the stats lie? Are you playing better than what your form says on the sheet here in front of me? What sort of formation or something do you think you should play against Leicester? Because I don't think anything's going to change for Leicester. I think we're going to play practically the same side again as last night, to be honest, and the game before that. I don't think much is going to change for Leicester.
Yeah, so my view in this game for ourselves is that I think we're going to bring in Freddie Gilbert. He is our right back, French right back, tough tackling. We brought him in. Actually, we purchased him in January of the season previous, but he stayed with his team in to try and help them stave off relegation, which he was unsuccessful doing. But since he's come to the Premier League, he's been pretty all action. He's not like your right back in that he is very is brilliant at going forward. He does go forward an awful lot. I think he fancies himself as being that kind of how would I put it, that new age kind of fullback. But his biggest strength is in the strength of his tackle. He tackles hard, and when he tackles, he stayed tackled. So he's somebody that will be back in. Hopefully, we will probably have a bit more reinforcements up top. So our team, I think, will be pretty settled. I don't think that we'll see any changes really to the two centre halves for the game. Obviously, we'll have Tom Heaton in goals, who has been our standout player.
Yeah.
Standout players this year. He was phenomenal against Chelsea. He was unbelievable. Some of the saves he pulled off, like, you know, if Southgate was there looking at Grealish and Mason Mount, he's probably going home and going, right, I need to get Heaton in between the sticks, because he could be England's number one. He's been fantastic this year. Left back Matty Targett had I don't want to stick the knife in him completely after just one poor game, but it was the only poor game I've seen him play was against Chelsea. But hopefully he can bounce back. I think he definitely will be left back. Our midfield is where everything happens for us.
Yes,
that's where all our dynamism comes from. We have
is Grealish is Grealish really your, like, almost like your playmaker, like James Maddison is for Leicester?
He is, but I'll tell you, it's kind of strange. If we want a player to kind of grab the bull by the horns and push the team forward, that usually comes in the form of John McGinn. John McGinn genuinely could play in any team, in any league, in the whole entire world. He just has. I don't even know how to explain it. He's just like a pit bull inside there, but he's also skillful. He's like a pit bull with makeup on, or what, I don't know what, I can't remember what the phrase is, but he gets things done, and he drives forward from midfield, and he's been a small little bit off form for Villa for the last one or two games, but like when we say off, he's been a small bit off form when you know, for Villa, but for Scotland, he's been unbelievable. I think he scored 10 and 20 over his last few games for club and country. So he's been in form in some instances, but when, you know, he's still, even saying that he's been a bit off form, he's still been one of our better performers. But going back to Grealish just has everything. You know, he's got that turn and pace. He's got he can carry the ball. When he normally plays out left wing for us. So we did start playing him in the middle of with as part of a three. So we might have Grealish, McGinn, and Nakamba, or Grealish, McGinn, and Douglas Luiz. But now what we play is Nakamba or Douglas Luiz. McGinn definitely stays in there, and then maybe a Conor Horan in there too, with Jack Grealish pushed wide left. So it's suited him to be there a small bit more, so he can pick up the ball and he can kind of move in.
Yeah.
And it's a case whereby
are we going to see the young lad up top, the Brazilian that you have? Is it is it Wesley?
We don't have anyone else, to be honest with you. He's been, look, if you were to look at his numbers and stuff like that, he's performing pretty well. I'm not down on Wesley at all. On the one game sample set, as I said in our review show for the Chelsea game, he was poor against Chelsea, I thought.
But he's a young lad. He's a young lad up top, you know.
He is, of course, yeah.
You know,
and he's only played a handful of games. I don't think he's even played 100 professional games yet in his career.
Exactly.
So he will come good, but if you're like, we're probably, I think the only reason that we're looking at him and kind of grumbling about Wesley is the fact that we have no one else to bring in. So it's more so it's like, oh Jesus, we have to play Wesley now because we have no one else behind him, as opposed to, I don't actually think that people think Wesley is poor. It's just they're kind of going, why have we left ourselves in this situation where we have no other striker to bring in if he's suffering from a crisis of confidence? Yeah. And that's basically what it is at the moment. Now we could bang in 2 against Leicester. Who knows? He's massively strong. I don't know. I think Johnny Evans is, and the Turkish lad whose name I won't try to pronounce, who's been an absolute classist for you guys. You know, he might play into their strengths with the fact that they're two stronger centre halves. They're not ball playing centre. Well, they are, but they're not known for the ball playing. They're known for like being able to front up the strikers and they don't get bullied. And that's kind of his game. So I don't know. We don't tend to whip in high crosses an awful lot. It's usually low crosses for people to get on the end of. And that's why I think if we've got Anwar El Ghazi back, that it helps Wesley an awful lot, because El Ghazi can get on onto balls that come into the box, and he's more of an attack, becoming more of an attacking threat as the year goes on. My views on the game, I actually think it could be. I don't usually back a Villa loss, or I don't usually kind of forecast a Villa loss. I think that Villa are very, very capable of coming away with a win. I think it's going to be somewhere along 1-1 draw, maybe a 2-2 draw. Villa concede, but I think this, probably all statistics will point towards maybe a Leicester 2-1 win. A score win, I think, is what I would call both teams to score, maybe a Leicester win. If I was betting on it with hard cash, that's probably what I'd put on. But I think the Villa are prepared and are, at home. They are drilled well enough to get something from this game without a shadow of a doubt.
There you go. So we've both gone for roughly the same score predictions there. Your next fixtures coming up, you have got Liverpool coming up in the Cup, haven't you?
Yeah. So we have Liverpool kids coming up in the Cup, because they will be away at the World Club Championship thingy.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm obviously, the only reason why I brought Liverpool up is because obviously they're just above us, and I'm watching their every move. They've got so many fixtures. Obviously with European football as well, and like you said, that what is it? Is it a World Club Cup type thing that they've got to fly over to, and then they've got players, and I'm hoping that you can do some sort of damage and break their momentum a bit. It'd be great. So yeah.
We should have beaten them the last time we played them. We were 1-0 up with like 4 minutes of regular time to go. They equalised, and then they got the winner. Sadio Mane got the winner. He actually scored a header. We just brought Jonathan Kodja in, and Jonathan Kodja decided he was going to do some sort of acrobatic kick, and Mane got in the way, got kicked in the face, but headed the ball in, and that was a gut punch. We were on a roll. We were on a bit of a run at that stage, and to beat the champions. I don't want to call them the champions elect, but they kind of are because the lead they have at the moment. But to beat them back then would have been a big changing point for them and for us, I think. And we should have beaten them. We were the better team than them. We should have won that game. We should have won the game against Arsenal, and we probably should have got the game something out of Spurs. So we do outperform ourselves against the better performing teams. It's just, I suppose, how long can we continue to get those moral victories until we get an actual victory?
Yeah.
Because you could say on the other side of things, we're probably due a beating from one of these teams too. So you just don't know what way it's going to go with Villa. And that's the way it is always going to be with a newly promoted team as they learn their way through. Because as I keep on telling people, we've only got 2 players that have Premier League experience. We only have Tom Heaton and Jack Grealish. You look at Mings has limited experience, limited Premier League experience.
You've got a lot of young lads though, like Leicester. You have got a lot of young lads with probably less Premier League experience than Leicester's, but they're still young. No different. Leicester's players are still young as well. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a fast-paced game at the weekend. I really do. It's a Sunday kickoff. Everyone that's listening to the podcast, it's 2:00. And obviously, I'm not going to be there, unfortunately. I don't get to go to away games. It's just too difficult. I've got family and family time at the weekends, but I do go to every home fixture. I'm a season ticket holder myself, but I don't travel away. Maybe one day I should probably just get off my arse and actually start going to these away games. But family comes first at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Villa isn't too far away.
I know.
Villa's just across the Midlands.
I know, but we've got a lot on, mate. It's building up to Christmas. There's loads of things to do. You know that. But I will be watching it though. I will be watching it, and I'm definitely going to go. Like I said, for a 2-1 win for Leicester.
Exactly. You never know. Once the kids start getting older, you can start asking them, "Hey, now it's your turn to take me to the Leicester game." As opposed to the opposite way around. So lean on the kids, get them to take you to away days, and then you can bring family and sport together. That's exactly what. That's my plan when I finally get around to having kids, is to brainwash them so they do that.
Yeah.
But no, listen.
Thank you,
Lee. Thanks so much for popping on. As I say, thank you so much. Just before you go, I know you mentioned it to me beforehand, and I was looking at it in the Twitter. For anybody who might be checking out Lee, yes, he is the Jamie Vardy impersonator.
Oh God.
And
He's calling me out on this.
Not at all. No. We've got royalty here. We've got Leicester royalty on the podcast today. This isn't just any old schmuck I picked up off Twitter today, guys. This is Leicester royalty that we got on the podcast today. So
you should see the video I'm making right now. I'm face palming.
And with that, actually, that's a good segue. So just so anybody can find you on because I do find that there is an awful lot of crossover. A lot of Villa fans will listen to opposition podcasts to try and get the feeling of how they actually feel that the games are going to go too. Where can everyone find you? Where can they find your work? And, maybe reach out to you.
Yeah, you can reach out to me. I'm on social media, on Instagram and Twitter. It's Lee_Chappie. And I'm also at Leicester Fan TV. We have a huge social media page on Facebook and also on Twitter, and we have a YouTube channel where our content goes out to. So yeah, Leicester Fan TV, and follow me at Lee_Chappie.
Excellent.
And we can,
thank you so much.
And the same question to you, for the question there. Where can we find you on socials so the Leicester fans that listen to the podcast can have a mooch of your content?
Excellent. Yeah, so I mostly do my business on Twitter and Facebook. It's you can just basically look for the Love of Paul McGrath podcast, or at Mac for the Love of, because apparently somebody has at Love Paul McGrath already, so I couldn't get that on Twitter. But at Mac for the Love of, you can find me there. Podcasts are available on all podcast networks, whether or all podcast platforms, should I say, on Apple, Spotify, any of them really. And on Facebook, if you just search for the Love of Paul McGrath, you'll be able to find us there as well.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for helping me out with the content today, and it was also a pleasure coming on to you as well. It's a bit of a collab,
exactly.
And good luck for the weekend.
Absolutely, and same to you. And look, may the best team win, as I say. And even if you guys beat us, go on, try and win the league, and let's have another Vardy party at the end of the year.
I don't need another one of them. I've had many of them.
I'd imagine you have.
Cheers.
Thanks so much, Lee.
No problem. You. Right, there you go. And there you go. Thank you for coming on today, Paul McGrath Podcast. For the love of Paul McGrath Podcast. Check them out on socials. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content, and stay 100% LCFC. I'll see you next week, guys. I'm definitely up for this one. Christmas is coming, lads. Christmas is coming. Come on! Don't forget to check out Who Knows Wins. I've not got Phil on this week. I shall get him on next week. But the Who Knows Wins League is live right now. Pick your teams. Bet against me, Phil, and whoever else is in the league for a chance to win a little bit of dough. I won last week. And my credit on that is starting to build ridiculous now. I'm doing really well on it. Right, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. See you guys.